Hello again and again and again. We're in the week 1, 5th day of personal coaching. Today we want to speak about the discovery of systematics. So many people have no system in their way of practicing. They practice, so to speak, by accident. Mostly they take a new piece, they play from the beginning to the end. They take both hands at the beginning and they don't stop, they just go through and don't care about the losses they have on the way. The art of practicing begins where you stop yourself. You can take back your wish to be able to play the piece in all, step back, and you stop at a place where you have a problem, you drill down, you really solve a problem, and then you resynthesize it, and then you go back to the flow. The more you do that, the clearer the piece will be, and you will arrive at the target to play it in all. And the insecurities which remain if you practice unsystematically is another important factor which makes you insecure when you perform, because nothing gets lost. When you have not resolved a problem, it will pop up every time you pass this position of the piece, and you may be lucky that some performance it will not pop up, but you have to resolve it anyway. So the music programming is an important part of my method to systematic practicing. You have got an overview about it. And now today we have a look at the psychology of mistakes. Oh, mistakes. Everybody hearing this word gets bad feelings. Why? Because we are conditioned in our lives that we think wrong is bad. Oh, it's bad, you make this mistake. You're a bad person. People connect making a mistake to being a bad person. They totalize this judgment of a little mistake to feel like a bad person. Already describing it like this, you see that it is out of proportion to think like that. So, I make the new natural law of mistake psychology, which is wrong is never bad. In other words, wrong is good. How that? Because the brain, when your system produces a mistake, is telling you what you have not yet learned. It's telling you what you have to work on, because it does not function. You want the full function, and if you then go for it and say, thank you brain for telling me I have to learn on this, I'm going to look at it, then the brain will be happy because it gets a solution for a problem, and you will be happy because you will be able to go through this passage and play it right, correct. It is, you're not better because when you play it correct, you're not worse when you play it wrong, but you'll have more fun when you play it correct. That's clear. We all want to become more correct, but we should never judge about it. So, I can even tell you that the brain only and exclusively learns from mistakes. Mistakes are the condition without you can never go forward. You have to go through all of the mistakes. It seems that the brain wants to play through all of the mistakes until it can accept the correct version. If you watch a child playing, you will see if it gets a new toy, it will test all the possibilities you can use with this toy, even throwing it down, or using it in a different way than it is meant to be used. A child will radically try out all the possibilities which are around one object. And this is how the brain works also with your motoric system when you go through a music piece where the music notes are defined, and the brain has sort of to adapt to this idea of the composer. And you have to teach the brain how to adapt to it. And every little learning step has to be practiced until it is free of mistakes and it's fluent from the beginning to the end. So this is the target for every little step, and this also why you can reach this target, because I only ask you one step at a time. So you can work on it and you can get it clear. Then you do the next step, and when you have had a sequence of steps, and it's not so much, it is, you can oversee it. You do the sequence of steps and the music piece will be yours. You will have it into your system, you have it programmed, and you can just let it out when you perform. That's it. The neurophysiologically, or how do you pronounce that in English? Neurophysiologically, you know what I mean. It means that you have to analyze your mistakes. So when you make step 1, and then it works, and it makes step 2, you will understand that step 1 most probably will produce a mistake again, because having this new request additional to step 1, then it has to be rechecked, sort of. Then you have repeat it until you can make 1 and 2 in one run, and you have it clear. Then you make step 3. Okay, something new is coming to your brain. And the evolution mentality of your brain is never accept new things. Because you have come so far in life with the old things that new things are not necessary. But okay, we are now having an artistic process. We are producing something. We have to check step 3. Once you try it, you will see that 2 or 1 or both will have problems again, which worked before. So then you repeat, and you get all 3 done. When you make step 4, one of the first 3 steps will break down. You're either counting or saying the note names or whatever. You will see which module of your brain or your entire system will break down, and from that you see that you have to practice, you have to strengthen it until every aspect will be so strong that you at the end can play the entire piece without mistakes and with fun. Well, it's a good target to play without mistakes. Even with my advanced pieces, well, they are difficult, but I always, in every concert, I make mistakes. It's not that often, let's say, when I have a happy moment, when I just go through an entire piece and I'm so much in the flow that there's no wrong note, and I even could express everything very strongly. So these are rare moments, but very beautiful moments. But it's worth trying and trying again until you have such moments. Well, it is important to know that none of these learning steps can be skipped. You can never jump over a step. The brain is like a mechanic thing. You have to program every step at least one time so that it gets a basic impression in your brain, in your gyrus, engraver. And from that the brain can develop. And once the things are in order, as I already said, you can condense it, you can speed up the tempo, but the motoric program will work correctly. And speed up the tempo and get more flow is what gives the people, when they listen, the feeling of music. Because music is then, it is so much information that you can no more concentrate on details. It is so much that you just can just dedicate yourself to the experience of listening to music. And Hingabe is a wonderful word in German. I don't know a real good translation for that. Dedication, maybe. And this is why we need to make all of these steps. And I want to make another little reflection about how many piano teachers teach. I include myself because I have had an entire process going through different types of teaching up to there where I'm now. Sometimes they use pictures. Oh, imagine it's a sunset and you play the romantic music. So they work with pictures. It's good to have a musical imagination. Another time they just put pressure and say, oh, you must practice 10 times a day. But they don't tell you how to practice in every detail. They don't give you the step at your hand which you need, which you can grab. I have experienced teachers like that. They put pressure and did not give the steps which made me work out the pressure. And others, when it's about counting the rhythm, then the teacher counts loud, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the student tries to follow it. Well, it's no use at all that the teacher counts. Only purpose can be that the student, him or herself, counts aloud. Because when you count, then the brain is forced to make the rhythmic analysis and see if in one quarter note, if there are 2 quavers inside or not. If it has to divide, it's some mathematical calculations which happen while you execute the music. And this mathematical calculation is only then triggered when you count the numbers. And this is why I make you count through each level of the rhythmic structure. And this is like brushing your hair. You don't take a brush like this. Just go one time over the hair and say, I'm ready. No, you will brush until every block, several times, until every block is resolved. And you can go through all of your hair. And I know what I say. For some years I have longer hair. When I was, before that phase, I had very short hair, so after the shower I just went like this, and that was it. Okay, this is a bad comparison, I know. So, have the mentality that you brush through your work as long until the whole hairdressing is fine, and then you look good and you sound good. And you have to do it on your own. If your teacher does it for you, nobody else can do it for you. And nobody else can do the work for you. I sort of cannot help you until you help yourself. Of course, I can give you the tips. I've gone the way. I've gone it, and I go back and tell you where to go. I'm sort of a little guide on a certain tour. And I have fun accompanying with you with every little learning step, because I know what giant potential is in one little step. If you do the small steps thoroughly, you will have a solid basis for the big steps. And I've seen it with several piano students. I brought several people to do musical studies, become professional musicians, and it's wonderful to see those results. So I'm looking forward to see your results when you seriously apply the physiological learning techniques and take full use of them. So take use of it. Have fun and discover yourself. It's a fantastic self-analysis, applying these techniques, and you will have so much understanding for other people when they are doing their learning steps, and be a very nice colleague or teacher to them. So, go on, have fun. Now we're doing techniques, exercises, and afterwards the music piece. But